Welcome to the Rob Liefeld Show featuring Robservations. I bring over 40 years experience in the world of comic books and entertainment. Across 5 decades, I offer insights and opinions on the business and the art of comic books and pop culture. If it's happening in games, in streaming, in movies, in comic books, we are covering it and discussing it right here. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Rob Liefeld Show featuring Robservations. I'm going to tell you why I say that twice shortly, because I told somebody online the other day because they were very concerned with why I say this twice. I actually love answering the questions, and this gives me a chance to be less snarky about it. The reason it's called the Rob Liefeld Show with Robservations is on the YouTube platform, we can't call the show Robservations. So the easiest out was calling it the Rob Liefeld Show. Robservations continues to be the title that this is filed under on Spotify, on Apple, iHeartRadio, Podbean. So wherever you are listening to us from, wherever you're joining us, we're sorry for the double names. We're sorry. I hope that you can overcome it. Today's show doesn't even have a name yet. I've got a couple of topics I'm going to get to. I've got a name of the show that I'm working with. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm chasing the end of the day. If you thought this was a operation that was held together by glue, string, and some bubble gum, you're right. Welcome to my humble show. My house is under total construction. We're redoing our staircase, and it has been. My whole house, phase 1 is under complete demolition today. It was demolition day, and my doors behind me are boarded up. The workers literally just left. They're getting here at the crack of dawn. I'm still, as my old bones are adjusting to the daylight savings times that we are all subjugated to. That none of us really like. Why are there some congressmen that are against this? You're going to tell me it's the cold, it's the crops, it's farming, whatever. Can we just have it be like where the sun goes down later all the time, please? I've been whining about this since my teenage years, and I feel like we're closer than ever to solving it. I hope we solve it. I hope we solve it soon. But I certainly did prep for this show today in terms of the topics I want to talk about. But landing and isolating a specific title, none of that was going to happen in the time that I was given, because they're all coming back to keep deconstructing things at the crack. They asked if they could come earlier tomorrow. My crew asked if they could come earlier tomorrow. So we're all like, yes. You don't go against the crew. You don't say no. Suddenly they don't show up. If you've had work done at your house, comply. Comply. So we are squeezing in this episode today, and it's going to be a fun one, and it's going to talk about some interesting topics, some interesting stuff, and I know that one of them, and it's always on my mind, and you're like, Rob, you are obsessed with this. I am obsessed with it. I'm a lover of, as you'll see right behind me, the X-Men. Those are my reader copies. Some of them are so banged up, but if you want to stumble into my office, especially my nephews when they were young, when they were 4, they were 5, pull them off, read them. I don't care. I got nice copies that are slabbed, that are mylar'd, all in a secure location. But these, rifle through them. Some of them are reprints. Why not? You guys know that I love the X-Men, and currently the X-Men comics are just really going through it. Just a lot of bad decisions. The books are not as anywhere near as strong as they should be, but they exist nonetheless. But we hear a lot of chatter about the X-Men coming back as a movie. And this is what I was really kind of trying to pull all these threads together today. And one of the biggest things that is frustrating about what's been going on with the X-Men over the last decade, the people that were put in position to guide and steer the X-Men did not buy off on the inherent macho themes that the X-Men title was built on. You're like, but Rob, no, 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 no. You're wrong. I'm right here. I watched this. I grew up with this. The machismo that was spitting out of this comic at its peak with Wolverine, with Sabretooth, okay, with Colossus, with Magneto versus Xavier. You're talking macho. Even the powerful women were slapping the men around. Dark Phoenix, Phoenix, Storm. Then you've got the 90s with Cable, with Bishop. It's just machismo after machismo. It's macho. Macho in pop culture is having kind of a quite the decade. It's beyond the 5 year mark. We're about year 7, year 8. If you watch a Taylor Sheridan show like we do, and we watch them all, Tulsa King, mayor of Kingstown, 1923, 1963, 1973, whatever the 1823, whatever calendar date that Taylor Sheridan puts out, we watch it. Landman, Yellowstone, all the spinoffs that are coming. Lioness is my favorite of all of them. Okay, we literally watch all of them. I'll watch Nola King with Sam Jackson. And I know that some of them, Taylor Sheridan has gotten more and more distance. There was Lawman, Bass Reeves, watched it. He's gotten further away in some of them. He's just a producer. Like on Tulsa King, he's about as far away as you can possibly be. But he staffed it. He created it. He worked with Stallone to create that show. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But he essentially branded the Paramount Network, put it on the map, and drove the subscriptions that are so important in regards to building out streaming services nowadays. The entire platform is built on machismo. And what are Paramount's biggest franchises? Top Gun, Mission Impossible, let's say the Transformers, the Hasbro stuff that they have, all Patriot games, the Tom Clancy stuff, macho. Paramount, I mean, all that's missing on that giant Paramount Mountain logo is a giant strongman flexing, probably firing, a giant rifle like Rambo. Macho has been driving an entire streaming platform to the point where, if you've been paying attention to the news, and I won't just go far. I will go further into it by telling you, we don't just watch the shows, we love the shows. Landman is a 10 of 10 for me. Lioness is a 10. Yellowstone would have 7, 8s, 9s, 10s, all high marks. Landman, 10. I mean, these shows really entertain both my wife and myself. We get a big kick out of them. All of our friends watch them, and you're like, well, you're a bunch of Gen X wackos. Be that it may, my card swipes, it spends, and it secures those subscriptions and those commitments to those services month in, month out. We like the Taylor Sheridan stuff. We love the Taylor Sheridan stuff. And it clearly has an audience because Peacock, the NBC owned by Universal / Comcast adjacent network, just stole him away. He will be going to Peacock and making all sorts of new macho. Because, I mean, we're talking about, this is the guy that wrote Come Hell or High Water. He wrote and directed Wind River, which is a freaking masterpiece. I mean, you got, for the comic book heads who've never seen it, go watch a movie starring Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch that's better than any Marvel movie that they were featured in as Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch. Sicario. One of the ways that I bonded with James, that's his dad, Josh, Super Josh, Josh Brolin, when he was picked as Cable, and I got to know him pretty much the spring of 2017 on, he was the star of Sicario, Taylor Sheridan's kind of breakthrough movie that put him on the map and showed everybody what this guy can do. Did you know he used to give my sister-in-law acting lessons? He was an acting coach in Los Angeles. He decided to change his perspective, change his outlook, put his, pen to paper, and he wrote himself into a big, giant, mega success story. So now he's getting $1 billion, and that is what Variety reported, Deadline reported, The Wrap, Hollywood Reporter, everybody reported, $1 billion. So I guess the macho brand is safe. The macho brand is good. And just before I came on today, Millennium Films, which owns the rights to Rambo and the other Stallone franchise, uh, the Expendables, those were both sold. I believe it's to Lionsgate, but they were both sold, both brands, macho brands, big ass macho brands. So let's get back to how in the hell did this franchise, this brilliant, genius, wonderful, look at that Paul Smith Wolverine. That is just a one of one. That is brilliant. How did this book stop being macho? How is it? Well, I'll tell you, it's the people who conducted the orchestra, who decided to surround it, build it out, weaken it. Wolverine is your lead character. And this is going to lead into what I think they should do with the film. And I'm going to go all hard into this in a way that you're like, I didn't know Liefeld had this in them. You're going to disagree. Then you're going to think about it and you're going to go, he's got something here. But whether it was John Byrne who came on and put the spotlight more on Wolverine, and we've covered that over the 5 years as I was reading comics and really liked the Uncanny X-Men and really, leaned all the way into them. The emphasis was on Wolverine. Wolverine became more of a point of emphasis, whether he was controversial in actually murdering people in the Savage Land, which caused the editor-in-chief to kind of throw a red alert and throw some red flags and say, hey, we can't be doing that. Wolverine can't be killing these tribes people in the Savage Land, to later battling the Hellfire Club, dropping from the ceiling, slicing and dicing them. His epic battles with Wendigo. The guy in his claws made an instant impersonation. The Wolverine miniseries, the Frank Miller, Chris Claremont, super macho. Super duper macho. Wolverine became the star. Whether you like him or not, and I see that there are whiners. I'm going to call them what they are, whiners. All over, whether it's Threads, X, Facebook, whiners. It's too Wolverine focused. That's because it works. Wolverine, Cable, Bishop, Colossus. These are the characters that people rallied around for a reason. People like a leader, people like a decisive leader, a decision maker, somebody who's not scared to go head first into the fray. That's what we respond to. We love it. Wolverine was the driving force. Wolverine adjacent concepts. I mean, there was a kick-ass Sabretooth miniseries in the 90s. And Wolverine's lore lent itself to all manner of killer showdowns, whether they were illustrated by the aforementioned John Byrne, whether they were illustrated by Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee, Alan Davis, Barry Windsor Smith, as we've been sharing here lately, as we just can't seem to shake the Barry Windsor Smith of it all. The comic books completely got away from the absolute focus being macho. They have gone into all sorts of different crazy manners, and the worst mistake they ever made was the House of X, which really neutered so much of the macho energy. The fact that they're dying, they're being resurrected, it had a decidedly less macho flair. I work in comic books, just like the guys who make action movies, just like the people who make John Wick, just like Point Break. Point Break, the most macho movie ever, directed by the most kick-ass woman ever. I mean, good God. If you've never seen Point Break, not the remake not as bad as the rap it got, but nowhere near the accomplishment that the original was with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. The macho has always paid the bills. The macho stuff has always been uber attractive to all of the different all of the different audiences. The macho, it has gone a long way in cashing a lot of checks, drawing a lot of attention, bringing the eyeballs. I'm just whether it's Die Hard, whether it's Rambo, First Blood, Cliffhanger, you name it, all these action movies, Predator. Like I said, whether it's the original Point Break or the many of the other excellent movies that Catherine Bigelow has brought to bear. Avatar, super macho, super macho. Stephen Lang is macho personified as he tries to take down the entire race in Avatar. And this is the stuff that people dig. And it's stuff that is disappearing from comics because there are editors who believe that we should be broadening the base. No, one thing that politics has shown me, and I'm not talking about politics 2025, I'm talking about politics in the 80s and the 90s. And I'll willingly, openly share what I have shared with close friends for years. I believe you feed the base. You once you recognize why people care for what you do, you absolutely, uh, you know, give the people what they want. If you were going to a Van Halen concert when David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen were together and Eddie Van Halen was alive, if you went to a Van Halen concert and they in the 80s in the mid, let's say their last outing together, and they didn't sing Jump or Panama, you're like, what? And if during the Sammy Hagar era, you know, they didn't sing. I mean, so many of the uh, massive hits. Why can't this be love? You want them to sing the hits. If you go to an Eagles concert, and I've been to about 12 of them, they don't forget to sing Hotel California, their biggest hit. When we, saw Fleetwood Mac, they sang all of the hits off Rumors. You play the hits. You play the hits because that's what the people want, and you give people, increasingly why they have tuned into you in the first place. Now, I've seen artists play around, screw around, maybe try something different. I'm all for it. Without artists experimenting, then we'd all be lost. Frank Miller never forgot to experiment, whether it was adopting a European kind of Mobius style approach, mixing it also with like Lone Wolf and Lone Wolf and Cub, which is what he did with Ronin. There's some great fruit to be born from every experiment. I believe in experimenting. I've experimented with different art styles, different layout styles, but I'm guilty. I stay in a lane that I not only enjoy, but I believe people expect. It's something that I created for myself. Good, thank God, I really enjoy it. There's never a day I take out my page and start crafting it and resent it. I'm like, this is so great. I'm so glad I'm doing this. I said this a few hours ago. I'm so thrilled that I am making comics, superhero comics, the kind of comics that I grew up loving. I am still trying to make. Even if I wanted to do something more in the vein of a mystery thriller, I probably wouldn't pursue it at this time. It's not where my training has been refined. With the X-Men, you look and you see that it was handed down from kind of curator to curator to curator to where they decided to say, hey, let's abandon everything that makes this franchise dangerous and let's make it weird and make it Vertigo-y and lose our voice in the process, lose an audience in the process, and they haven't regained it. That's the problem. Once you shed the identity and lose it and let it wash down the river, good luck getting it back. There are remedies, and I'll get to the comic books after I get to the movies. I'm going to go right into the movie. They're going to make a new X-Men movie. We've all been hearing about it, the director, everything. So in my kind of curiosity, I popped in the original X-Men movie, X-Men Summer of 2000. I'm going to draw some comparisons to something else that came out in the summer of 2000. I'm sorry, the year 2000. X-Men was summer of 2000, and then we were all. It was very interesting how within that 12-month cycle, uh, that we were suddenly introduced to all these what would end up being these burgeoning new franchises. Now, it wasn't in time uh, to be in the same calendar year, but within, you know, from summer 2000 to winter holiday season 2001, we would get a couple of franchises, and two of them share a whole lot of DNA stuff that you wouldn't expect off the top of your head when you would be interacting with both of these. You'd be like, well, wait, that these two, bestsellers really don't share a whole bunch of DNA, but there's this one place that they cross. It's perfect, and it makes both of them work so well. With the X-Men in 2000, let's go back to Fox's original development of this. Why was the X-Men even getting made? No comic book movies had been made. Comic book, and they thought of them as comic books. I'm going to say it again once. I'll say it once again. I'm still in contact with Mike DeLuca, who ran New Line Pictures, who ran New Line Cinema. He was the president of movie production. He gave the green light capacity to everything. When they made Blade, they knew was a comic book. The character was taken from Tomb of Dracula. It was carefully curated for Wesley Snipes, who couldn't get Black Panther going anywhere else. And he literally, pardon the pun, sank his fangs into this one. With great success, by the way. But Blade was not marketed as a comic book movie because comic book movies had some stank on them. Batman and Robin, if you were to grab 10 people who are along with me going to the executive suites, sharing their comic book stories, being summoned, hey, we kind of think we want comic books for all these different execs from Paramount, Warner Brothers, Sony, Universal, they were all sniffing around it. I knew the exec in the mid-90s who couldn't get the Incredible Hulk movie off the ground. They couldn't do it. It had been a hit TV show. It had been a hit line of toys. It had a pedigree that went outside of comic books, given that it was a top-rated show when it was on CBS with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, a must-see Friday night, appointment television for kids and families of my generation. It was very, very well crafted that Bill Bixby was acting out basically the role of the fugitive. They modeled it. He was always on the run, always having to conceal his identity, wanted for wrongdoings. But you wouldn't like him if he's angry. You wouldn't like him if he's angry, and he got angry twice. I think twice an episode is how much they could spend on him hulking out, getting Lou Ferrigno in, putting the green makeup on him, and having him throw dressers and file cabinets in slow motion. And we ate it up. I loved it. I may talk of it in a cynical manner now, but I was licking it up when I was 9 and 10 and 11. They couldn't get a Hulk movie off the ground. Comic movies were seen as being really, I told you, the guys from Paramount wanted to buy Youngblood, and they're like, well, we want to kind of make this into a Batman style, movie. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with Batman. A lot of confusion. People were just chasing the familiar. Batman and Robin, George Clooney, Arnold Schwarzenegger killed it. People were like, we're done. Let's put him away. This little vampire movie, though, made it out, and it crushed. And they also were doing Spawn, so New Line, which did both. Spawn, not the near the success or the cool factor that Blade had. Absolutely, Blade was made from a comic movie. If you were alive at that time, not marketed one iota as a Blade movie. It was a Wesley Snipes vehicle, a vampire thriller, and then a horror film before the fourth category. Even in the early 2000s, they didn't list it as a comic book film on IMDb. They didn't list it as a comic book film on Box Office Guru. It was horror, thriller, vampire, because that was a much more successful genre. You wanted to sell to what was going to get you the biggest eyeballs. In the meantime, Fox is figuring out what to do with X-Men. And here's the reason that X-Men 2000 is so admirable. It's got Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey. It's got Professor X, okay? You got Magneto, Sabretooth, Toad. You got Mystique. I'm leaving people out here. You got double digits in regards to people with superpowers. And the entire array of comic book. I mean, these are teams. They hadn't made a live action superhero team for cinema. They hadn't gone this far, but now they are. And on a shoestring budget, because Fox was determined not to lose their shirt. This isn't going to be the movie that takes us down. We're not going to lose on this one. They had Bryan Singer, who at the time had a ton of heat off both his movies, the Ian McKellen German war criminal movie that I'm forgetting the name of, but I'll find out right after this show is over, and you'll tell me in the comments. And The Usual Suspects. Bryan Singer was on the map, and he's a great shooter. Just whatever you think of him, whatever wrongdoing he's committed, the guy, especially at that point in his life, could shoot the hell out of a movie. X2, when given money, you see really how well he can sling that camera around, light a frame, move you through, scenes, stage, big consequential moments. Great stuff. He's given a shoestring budget in the 60, 65, $70 million range, okay? And again, you've got huge mental telepathy powers that you're going to depict between Professor Xavier and Jean Grey. Then you've got your macho growlers with Wolverine, with Sabretooth. You've got your optic blast with Cyclops. You've got Storm. It was a full range of superpowered characters, and they're putting them on film for the first time. So here's what I'm going to drop. I'm going to drop on you right now. X-Men #1. Budget aside, you have to move the budget aside because they didn't have the money. Deadpool would be made 15 years later for about 10 million less than X-Men. Think about that. X-Men #1 is a perfect movie script. Take the special effects, take the budget limitations away, which is why Marvel should remake it with a $200 million movie. And I'm going to tell you why. Think of our introduction to Hugh Jackman. Think of our introduction to an unknown actor portraying Wolverine, a character that we love, a character that is obviously very much taller than we were expecting, and we still loved him. It did not stop us from embracing him and loving him. We meet him in the cage. We see how he's making his money. He stumbles into this very random meeting with a group of people who refer to themselves as mutants. And they get him out of a jam and deliver him to the school. I forgot Rogue. He goes to the school, and I had already seen it. I had gone up to see a pre-premiere screening on the Fox lot. They were very kind. I once upon a time wrote a review of this for CBR, but when CBR was sold about 12 years ago, they cleaned all the back files. My X-Men 2000 movie review that I came home and posted about a good 8 to 9 days before the movie was released. And they were, I remember the Fox execs who I knew because I had friends there. They were so thrilled that someone from the comic book world was so legitimately jumping out of my seat because I was terrified. I was terrified that this was going to be just this giant, bogus, horrible, something that looked more like the Power Rangers. Even with all of the budgetary restraints, that movie should have been given $40 million more at the very least to pull off kind of the grandeur that we'd eventually get. And they probably only gave the sequel 20 to 30 more million. But you can't deny that Stryker and Lady Deathstrike and all of that Phoenix Bird stuff at the end, them attacking the mansion, just phenomenal. Just, again, you saw the budget upgrade in X2, but X1 as a script, as a story, as an entry point to the mutants, you're not going to do better than that. Here's where we cross over. And what we're crossing over with the other franchise I'm talking about is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is introduced to a school. Logan is walked into a school. People would ask me, hey, what movie is this from? What I was going to say is I went up, I saw it a couple days. I saw it quite a bit earlier. Then I took Joy on opening weekend, and then she thought our neighbors would really like it. They were our age. We had kids. They had a child who was exactly a few months younger than Luke. They were growing up together. They were friends. We grabbed them. I call them my citizen friends. They didn't like anything. They didn't like anything superhero whatsoever. We took them to the Brea 12. We watched the Saturday night. It was Saturday night. Got babysitters. I was so dying to know what they thought. And afterwards, they're like, we loved it. And they're, sure enough, we love the school. And it was like, is there a comic book like that? No, there is no movie where they encounter Logan and say, "Come with us, and we'll show you how the basketball courts open up to a hangar that houses our Blackbird super aircraft that flies off and takes us to our missions." Logan wandering around the school, bumping into other young mutants. The entire Harry Potter, but all the Harry Potter books were already all the rage, and they'd been that way for about 2.5 years. I want to say that the Harry Potter books were on the third or fourth book at the time. Sorcerer's Stone had already become a giant late 90s hit, late 90s sensation. They were making the movies while this one was being released. And I always felt that Hugh Jackman, that 5-6 minutes where he's wandering through and meeting the headmaster, seeing that, oh my gosh, Jean Grey teaches a class, so-and-so teaches a class. And then Xavier breaks it down. This is where we kind of conduct our operations, where we train young mutants away from prying eyes under our protection. It made them so valiant. It made them so incredibly admirable. And it gave Logan a home, as well as a ton of curiosity, because Logan was us and we were Logan. We were the audience surrogate, learning about these X-Men. In the meantime, you had, again, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen. Those are incredible castings. Incredible castings. And when they recast him with Fassbender and McAvoy, another just completely swing and hit. I mean, giant home runs. But those first outings with Stewart and Sir Ian, fantastic. These wolves been hidden me forever, Charles. That last line, phenomenal. They go visit him, and he snarls and Magneto's. For all of its budgetary restraints, the first movie is, again, I'm going to tell you, perfect. You're like, it's not perfect. It looks cheap in spots. Yes, that's the budgetary restraints. But the script is so incredibly strong. I am telling you, remake it. Rob, you're nuts. They're remaking Harry Potter right now to run multiple years on HBO with an all-new Harry Potter cast, and they're going to reshoot the same movies, the same books. And I'm not sure they're going to deviate much because the author has a ton of control over that material and is going to make sure that it is guided in a certain manner. They are remaking Harry Potter that came out in 2001 that walked us through the same scenario. You're a wizard, Harry. All right? This wasn't hidden me forever, Charles. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I love Ian. Sir Ian crushes it in that movie. Remake X-Men 2000. Remake it. Not saying shot for shot. Just take that script, build it out. Utilize hey, we go to a school. You can live here with us. You can right some wrongs. The Senator plot, the making everybody into mutants, Magneto's ultimate, revenge on mankind, really get a great opportunity to have a battle on top of the Statue of Liberty this time instead of something that was so obviously soundstaged, but still, as best he could, Bryan Singer staged that really well. Wolverine, Sabretooth, facing off up on the top of the Statue of Liberty. Good stuff. Remake that movie. It's great. They're remaking Harry Potter. Warner Brothers, which has a whole lot more money and is spending a whole lot more money to bring it to their HBO is a giant pedigree. If you don't think that is going to be event television, you are nuts. It is going to be event television. We started taking our kids to the Harry Potter movies around the 4th. Yeah, it was after Azkaban. It was the Robert Patrick. I mean the Pattinson, whatever that one, the tournament. They loved them. Then they wanted to see them all on DVD, and we showed them, and they loved it. They're gonna watch it. My daughter, 21, my son, 25, my other son, 23. They're all gonna tune in. So there it is. Harry Potter came out 1 year after X-Men, but within that same 12-month kind of range, and they're already redoing it. I'm telling you, hey Feige, best free advice you're ever gonna get from me. Don't start doing what the comic book labels did and think you're smarter than the rest of us. We like our macho. We like Wolverine. We like the school. We like the danger. I mean, part of me wishes they would do the Krakoa crap and see how that would be just Yeah, and have botanists, old lady, the Golden Girls, sneak on as botanists and investigate, and then have world leaders have dinner with Apocalypse Professor X and Cyclops. Don't you make me threaten you while you eat this, you know, T-bone. Uh, yeah, guys, just go back to the source. They didn't have the money to pull that off, and they pulled it off. Imagine what you could do building it out, making it all bigger, making the base of the Brotherhood evils, the base of the Brotherhood of Evil more impressive, Magneto more impressive, the school more impressive, all of the settings bigger, better. The audience would eat it up. You're going to have to recast it. You are, but what a great opportunity. This is the time. Go back. Do model yourself after Warner Brothers. Don't make it harder than it already is, because you're already making it harder than it is. The reboots on the X-Men have literally leveled the line. You heard me interview uh, Comic Tunes and Toys from Tustin here about 3 months ago. He literally said his flagship X-Men title he sells 30 of, while he's selling 200 Batmans. Uh, this franchise has been going in the wrong direction for a long time. In the comic books, and you're like, Liefeld, I hate this idea. Trust me, remake X-Men 2000. That script is perfect. The reason I knew the movie was going to be in good shape was that I got to read the script. There's more stuff that I can, talk about the script later on in life. But I knew it was going to be solid, given that they kept chopping the budget, making it as cheap as possible. And let's be honest, the casting in that movie, whether it was Halle Berry, Patrick Stewart, Surian, or our brand new Hugh Jackman that had to carry the weight of the world, It's going to be a tough recast, but you can do it. And I am telling you, do a remake of the 2000 X-Men. Bring the money, the special effects that it needs, cast it with all new people, and you will get killer results. This generation does not mind stuff that's rebooting. I'm reading that Eloise is being remade. Everything is being remade. They remake the Turtles every 10 years, and we accept it. They put a new Batman in the costume every decade now, it seems. And it always meets with some level of success. Some successes are greater than other, but they're all big earners. In the comic books, it's simple. Why did Giant Size X-Men #1 worked? People like me who were bored with the original X-Men, I've covered it, didn't care for Angel, Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, Professor X, Marvel Girl, didn't care. They were boring to me. But suddenly, who are these dangerous characters that are being recruited to find them? Reveal that the X-Men are being held on the monstrous Krakoa Island, and they've all been cocooned, and they've all had their memories seized, and we've been reading their hallucinations. It happened. They've been poisoned. They've been infected. Find them, save them, free them, return the franchise to glory. Have Wolverine break free, recruit a bunch of new mutants, free the X-Men. It's the same formula. It'll work. These are free, by the way. Free. Every other route they're going to go, you're already going to have a bunch of fans who are cross their arm. They're going to have their arms crossed. They're going to be doubting you. No one's doing that with Harry Potter. Every piece of information that's released about it gets gobbled up. People love it. They're excited. Oh man, I can't wait. Oh, these new actors. Oh, who's Hagrid? Oh, who's this? Who's Snape? They're just remaking it 25 years later. Do the same. Do it with X-Men in the comic books. Save us all from the blight that the House of X Krakoa era was, where they you don't think they were dreaming? Yeah, because that's what they all wanted to have: ball gowns. They all wanted to have galas. You know who has galas? Soap operas. I watch soap operas. I can tell you, those are the weeks that I can miss. Oh, they're having the gala. It's going to go for 7 days. I'm not watching the gala this week. I'm not watching the gala for 7 days. I don't care what they're showing up on the red carpet with their gowns and doing numbers and singing. No thanks. The annual gowns and the galas in X-Men are the nurses' ball in General Hospital. And I miss those. When General Hospital has secret agents, islands, ice cannons that are going to make it snow in Port Charles in the summer, and secret agents parachuting in to defeat the bad guy who's played by Baltar from Battlestar Galactica. I'm in. I'm still in. They gave those entire characters lineages, brothers, sisters, nephews, nieces. They're all haunting Port Charles still. There is they just did a month in August on General Hospital where it was all secret agents again. 3 secret agents against a bunch of mustache twirling bad guys. This is what's on my television at 2:00 when I'm drawing Youngblood, when I'm drawing Deadpool, anything I've done in the last 5-6 years. Truth be told, it was the death of my mom that brought me back. When I would visit my mom in the last several years that she was alive, I would go. I'd make sure it was afternoon visits, some fun daytime where she's, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And she always had General Hospital on, and she'd be like, "Here, let's watch." And I'd be like, "What's going on with this character?" I talked about this at my mom's funeral. And it actually, because everyone knows my mom was the biggest soap opera fan. I've talked to you that I believe Chris Claremont was a big soap opera fan. X-Men, the X-Men that I fell in love with, the X-Men that rocketed to stardom was based on soap operas. Chris knew how to communicate soap operas to all of us with superpowers. Because, and you don't think soap operas have machismo? What do you think the women watch? They got big, rippling, muscled men taking off their shirts, making out with their girls. They got secret agents. They got, cops, mafia. it's all this machismo surrounded by some romance. But it's always who's stealing what fortune, who's making what formula, which island are they developing this on, what secret weapon is gonna, mutate and get and create a contagion. It's got macho stuff going on all the time. Go back to X-Men 2000. Use it as your blueprint. Remake that movie with a much bigger budget. Recast it. Embrace it. Do what Warner's is doing with Harry Potter. Best free advice you're ever going to get. You can reject it at your own peril, which I'm sure you'll do. X-Men comic, you got to take a big swing. You got to get a big ass talent. We want them familiar. We want the Wolverine we fell in love with. We want the Wolverine that's the leader of the team, that's drawn in a masculine, macho manner, because that is when he has had his most success. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You won't be able to. You can't. You know it. I know it. Your mom's uncle's brother's cousin's nephew knows it. Lock it in. Make it happen. We're saving the X-Men. All the other stuff I wanted to talk about, I'm going to do it some other time. This was my X-Men diatribe. Now I know what the title of the episode is, okay? So there it is. Lock it in. Make it happen. The X-Men, this is the fix. Fix the comics. Fix the movies. It's not as hard as you think. Stop trying to make it into something else. It worked for a reason. I can reach over here, and I don't have it, but pull in Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith. Machismo is dripping off that book. It's wires, it's tech, it's bare-chested hairy men taking down wolves and bears in the snow and slicing and dicing armed guards in the hallways of the lab as he fights for his freedom. You need to Taylor Sheridan this shit. You need to remember the roots of the X-Men. Stop trying to make it into the nurse's ball, okay? Are we clear? Be clear. I've sold millions of X-Men comics. I wrote on my website in 2010 about my wing of the X-Men. I have my wing. I could go, and I'm going to do it soon. I could walk into Kmart right now and point to a Cable action figure that's out, X-Men 97, a Deadpool, a Pop. Rob Liefeld is in Target. Rob Liefeld is in Walmart. Rob Liefeld is in Spencer's Gift. Rob Liefeld is in all of the tchotchke stores. All of the Spencer type stores, big box stores. I live there because I put myself there, because I get the X-Men. I understood the X-Men. So did Jim, so did Mark, so did Wills. We all did. Get with the program, fix the X-Men. So now that we have purged ourselves from the X-Men on the brain, X-Men is always on the brain. I got so many X-Men comics. I got so much X-Men art. I got so much X-Men stuff. I helped build the X-Men. It's on my mind. Sue me, forgive me. Let's move on. You're going to want to be following me all across social media, starting with Whatnot, for the next couple weeks. We have got all manner of crazy, awesome Youngblood launch material. This is an avalanche. you're going to get a press release before Youngblood hits that it's sold out. It's sold out completely at the distributor level, because stores, what happens is they second guess. They heard from their customers. My heart goes out to ordering comics. It's hard. It's hard to get something maybe that you weren't certain of in the first place, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I don't have enough. So you go back to the distributor. You want to add copies. I'd like more, and there's no more to give you. And that's what we're at. When you go into the store next week and you get those copies, your store will already have been informed that there are no more of the Youngbloods that they can get. They're going to try, and other than the random, other than the random, other than the random copies that they may be able to grab, they are being told, and it's with great certainty because we order to the bone. We don't have the ability to go above and beyond. We ordered to what the market said, what the market wanted, and we went for it. The book that's getting the most action is these bagged copies right here. Here's Youngblood number 1/1A, cover A. This is a placard in the back. Behind that is a card. You don't know what card you're getting. They're hidden. Now, I can show you. Maybe you're going to get a Die Hard card, okay? Maybe you're going to get the Die Hard card. Maybe you're going to pull the Bad Rock card. Maybe, just maybe, you're going to get the Chase variant Vandal, okay? The Chase variant foil edition. There's a regular Vandal and there's a Chase edition. So, guys, this is going to cause a bit of. It's already caused. We some stores are like, I didn't realize it was there, except they are aware that it was there. It was there. It was there in the fine print. Ordering comics is really hard. It's not easy. It's overwhelming. I know. I do it with my own retail partners, and it can be a bear. And but Youngblood is gone. Youngblood. The cover A's have the cards. We didn't let you know that there's a retailer. We call them a thank you variant. There's this 1992. I did this for a Youngblood poster. We covered it. It's a retail thank you variant. They're getting these, okay? Now, Daniel Warren Johnson, the one of the biggest, most sought after, most celebrated names in the business right now, was kind enough to crush it on this. He 1000% crushed this, okay? Can't wait to share this with you. Retailers went all in and got their own incredible visions. Comic Tom got a Liefeld Shaft variant. That's going to be on Comic Tom's live streams, Comic Tom's websites. This is East Coast Comics, 72 Comics, Vincent's Collectibles, Mott Comics, all of these behind here. I got to read everybody. I can't just read a few. I got to read everybody. Looks like Uzan, Larson's Treasure Chest, Mott Comics, Vincent's Collectibles, 72 Comics, East Coast. They got this badass variant, this most badass variant. Look at this. Frank Uzan and Ezekiel Dominguez. Baby. Look at that bad boy. That's from their store. Contact one of those outlets. We didn't stop there, though. A&Z Comics. Look at this foil. Look at this foil. You got to get your hands on this. Holy crap, is that gorgeous? It's beautiful. Shell Beast has this foil. Oh my gosh, these are spectacular. So here's the deal. I only have a few of each of those, and I'll do something special and share them with you, because you're going to get them, the most accessible versions you're going to get through those outlets. But on my live streams, I'll do some crazy remark, some crazy signature on it. I only have a few. What I'm really interested in is sharing with you the main covers. The best deals for these incredible comics are from the people. There are going to be so many retail outlets, and they are going to share these, and you're going to want to be a part of them. So go to those live streams, go to those stores, go to those websites, follow those links, look for Youngblood retail variants, hunt down all of the different people. Come next week. Next week we will be really leaning into letting you know where you can all get this. This will land about a week before, but the cover A's are where the cards are. Okay, guys, and we told you that in advance. Daniel Warren Johnson, woo woo on Whatnot. I'm Rob Liefeld. Follow me on Whatnot. Get ready to party. This book is. Wait till you hear all of the numbers. We have been sitting on them and allowing it to be as mysterious as possible. You're going to dig it. You're going to want to be a part of this. Youngblood is all the way back. I am all the way back with Youngblood. I am sharing it with you. Rob Liefeld, Whatnot. Follow me. You'll be alerted when I go live. I'm going to have original art. I'm going to have sketches. I'm going to have remarks. I'm going to have special drop shadow chisels, blood splatter chisels, all the chisels all the time from me to you. Can't wait to share them with you, but you got to follow me on social media, Whatnot, Rob Liefeld. Cannot wait to hang with you. When I'm not podcasting, I'm not whatnotting, I'm not live streaming, I am on my I'm on my social media. I am on the platform formerly known as Twitter, X, at Robert Liefeld, RobertLiefeld. I'll probably be running some contests. I have a blue check to signify that that really is me. You, not the phony accounts, not the phony parody account. Those are funny. They're not me. At Robert Liefeld, blue check is me talking to you, reading your replies, your comments, your DMs, your messages. Thank you. Thank you for communicating with me. Thank you for talking with me. Thank you for sharing as much as you share with me. I appreciate you so much, more than you will ever possibly understand or know. At Robert Liefeld on X. On Instagram, at Rob Liefeld. Blue check. Again, I'm reading your replies, your mentions, your comments. I'm replying to you in real time on each and every different post. My main man, Scotty, is crushing it with the content, throwing me questions, throwing me video clips, sharing art that I never thought that we would. I got to push this out of the way. I never thought that I would kind of engage in that manner, but it's so fun, and we're having a great time, and we would love to see you over there. And I love to, the stuff, and you've seen it already, the stuff that gets me in the hottest water is when Scotty asks me, who's stronger? Who could beat who? Oh, man, it's like being in the comic store, except I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm an old guy trying to duke it out with all of you who are like, no way can anybody beat the Flash. And somehow Martian Manhunter now is Galactus level. I'm like, the dude is scared of flame, and then it's a psychological affair. No, it's not. Brings him to its knees. Why don't you do your research on Martian Manhunter before you engage me to tell me that Omni-Man couldn't rip his face off, okay? Hey, Instagram, at Rob Liefeld. Blue check me out. Can't wait to see you. We have a group on Facebook, Robert, on Facebook. It's called Rob Liefeld, Marvel Extreme and Beyond. Yes, I'm aware I even get myself more hyped up than I probably should. Marvel, Rob, you can just lean back in the chair. Is that's I wish you guys would put that in the chat. Rob, you can lean back in the chair. Rob Liefeld, Marvel Extreme and Beyond is our Facebook group. It's a great group. Myself, a gentleman named Terry Sala, S-A-L-A. We will be the ones that click you on through. We want you to participate with us. We share art. We share stories. We share collections. We share comic book life with each other. We have great art contests. Be a part of it. In 2026, I'm going to start putting all you art contest guys really through the paces, doing a fan art comic for all the extreme characters that you've shown and shared. It's going to be fun. Rob Liefeld, Marvel Extreme and Beyond. We hope to see you over there. Each and every episode of this show gets its own dedicated post that you can discuss, parse, share your thoughts and opinions on what we're talking about here on the Rob Liefeld Show with Robservations. Okay. I have an original art drop for those of you who like the pictures, who like the original art. The entirety of Youngblood, #1, all of it, and about 10 covers is with my art dealer, Panel Page Art. Panel Page Art, let's hear it for Glenn Brunswick. Panel Page Art, they are going to do the day and date drop November 12th of all the available art. Some of it was done digitally, including some random patches, other stuff. They're going to drop it. You can participate with it. You can buy a cover, buy a splash page, buy a double page splash page. We're making it available to you. Panel Page Art is the name of the website. He's on social media, on Facebook. Look him up. He's on Instagram, Panel Page Art. Get ready. November 12th is the day of the art drop. We want you to be a part of it. We want you to get that cover, that splash page, that double page splash, that sequential page that you are looking for. This book is a lot of fun. I leaned all the way into just having the best time. And then come back and listen to the podcast, okay? And keep sharing the love for this podcast. We got a few more episodes before we wrap up the year. We got some stuff going on. We got some big badass topics we still got to discuss, but they got to fix the X-Men, man. I'm going to end this episode the way I started it. But in the meantime, you need to take care of yourself, okay? When you're not on my whatnot, not on my podcast, not on Robert Liefeld at X, not at Rob Liefeld. Oh, also TikTok. The TikTok police are gonna arrest me if I don't say that I'm Rob Liefeld on TikTok. If you're not following all these, Rob Liefeld on TikTok, Rob Liefeld on Instagram, Robert Liefeld X, my Facebook group, Rob Liefeld Marvel Extreme and Beyond. How does some of you even make it through these plugs? I have a hard enough time saying them. When you're not doing all that, I hope that you're having a great life. I hope you are living it to the fullest. I hope you are being loved, giving love, being generous, being kind, receiving generosity, receiving kindness. I just hope your mental and your emotional, your spiritual, and your physical being is exactly where you need it, where you desire it to be. I'm telling you, if you're in a rut, if you're on that treadmill and it's running you down and you're you feel like you're flatlining, do something about it. Get out, seek out a friend, call somebody, go meet with them in person, have physical contact, share a coffee, share one of those cool, awesome ice blended drinks. They all have them, okay? Go to a dinner, go to a diner, have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, have a snack. Go have an ice cream sundae like my wife do. We're getting big, giant ass burritos right after this show, okay? The kind that takes a week for us to eat. Some of you have been there. Some of you have been there to Cali Tacos with me, and you know what I'm talking about. Now, listen, this is where we unlock, and where we release. And we got to release. We got to share with each other. We got to be in each other's lives. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm an uncle. I'm a friend. Okay, we're wearing multiple hats. I'm working. Even when it's what I love, it requires incredible discipline. Requires discipline to get on here in between my house being smashed to bits, to pieces, by a multi-man army crew. I got to have the discipline to get on and engage with you and talk with you, because we love talking about comic books. Comics makes me happy. It brings a smile to my face. I hope it brings a smile to your face. I hope this show brought a smile to your face. Please come back and get me. 2 fist bumps, boom, into this Yeti mic right at you. Wishing you all the very best. Do not leave me out there, right? I'll be there, right through here. Pick me up. We will most definitely, absolutely, inevitably, we're going to talk again, and we're going to talk again real soon.